Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Editor-in-Chief of Total Retail. I'm joined on today's episode by Deb Hannah, the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Corporate Communications for Shoe Carnival. And Deb and I are going to be discussing the launch of Shoe Station's Shoe Perks reward program. So thanks for joining me on today's episode, Deb.
Thank you.
So as I noted, we're going to talk about the Shoe Station brand, which Shoe Carnival owns. So just to kind of give a little context for our audience, tell our audience about the Shoe Carnival acquisition of Shoe Station and how the two organizations are trying to integrate the two banners.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shoe Station is a retail banner in the Southeast. They've got 21 stores or 22 stores now. And we're finding that it's very complementary to Shoe Carnival. And Shoe Carnival is in about 35 states. We have 373 stores, just to give you a sense of relative size. You know, the customer bases are somewhat different, and the assortments are somewhat different, and actually the formats feel a little bit different. So we're finding that the Shoe Station banner is pretty complementary to Shoe Carnival. It's a super fun place to shop. Actually, both places are really fun to shop. Shoe Station in particular, a little bit bigger stores, and there's a ton of variety. I think my first visit to one of our new Shoe Station stores post acquisition, I might have bought 4 or 5 pairs of shoes, and I am not hurting for shoes. So really, really great experience. So, you know, we plan to maintain both banners. One, Shoe Carnival, obviously, that is really for our value-oriented, more urban customer, a little bit more lower, moderate income. While Shoe Station plays a really great role for a higher income, more suburban customer.
So as you mentioned, kind of post-acquisition, the plan is to keep both banners operational and going. So then comes the need for a universal rewards program, and at Shoe Carnival, that's the Shoe Perks program. So tell us a little bit about kind of why that universal rewards program is important across the two brands and why it's become a priority.
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, we actually started with our customer and what makes the most sense for them. And as we grow Shoe Station, we have this great program already, and it just made sense to give the Shoe Station customer access to all of the great benefits and perks that we have on our in our Shoe Perks program. And it gives both customers the ability to earn rewards in more places and redeem rewards in more places. You know, loyalty programs are more valuable when you get the chance to use them more often, right? So that's what we're able to do for the customer with having it Shoe Perks across both banners. For us, obviously, in Shoe Carnival, we get the benefit of knowing our customers better, right? Especially for those who buy across both Shoe Station and Shoe Carnival. We know which categories they're buying, we know for who, and we can start to cross-market different categories. We can look at tailoring offers accordingly. So it's really kind of a win-win for both the customer and for us.
And we're going to get into that kind of the role of the customer and how their feedback factors into the design of the Shoe Perks reward program. But first, let's talk a little bit about, as you're going about promoting and selling the loyalty program, what are the benefits? Why would a Shoe Station customer want to join?
So the Shoe Perks program is an upgrade for our Shoe Station customers. So under the old loyalty program, they actually earned a $5 reward for every 200 points, and it's a 1 point per dollar under both programs. With the new Shoe Perks program, we actually doubled the rate at which they earn rewards. So now with 200 points, they get a $10 reward. We also have great birthday perks. So on your birthday, you get a $5 reward. If you're a basic member, you get a $10 reward for your birthday if you're a gold member. And then finally, I think everyone's favorite benefit, you get free shipping from either banner, which is huge.
You mentioned there was an existing loyalty program at Shoe Station. Or were all of those points that have been accumulated prior to this switch over to the integrated, where the customers get to keep those?
Yep.
Was there, so talk about that kind of transition. And maybe even I'm thinking kind of from a tracking perspective, what were the challenges there? How did you kind of work? I imagine that's more of an IT discussion in terms of, but how did that go about, kind of that cutting over from one program into one integrated program?
Yeah, there was a lot of science and a lot of magic that happened there. We picked a date that the old program ended, right? So every single one of those points that all of those customers earned were automatically transitioned into the new program. And then when we launched Shoe Perks, we had two big communication tasks, right? The first is, hey, you have a new program and it's more valuable, and here's all of the great benefits that you get. And number two, here are the rewards that you have from the conversion from Shoe Station Select into Shoe Perks. And so all of those rewards were deposited into their new Shoe Perks account, and they can start to earn and redeem across both banners. So as you can well imagine, there was a lot of work to figure out what that translation looked like, importing old customers into our new customer database. But overall, it was a great way for every single customer from the old loyalty program to be able to seamlessly transition into the new.
Yep, and I imagine this isn't an overnight process. This has been something that's been in the works for quite some time at this point.
Indeed, yes.
So as you think about creating awareness for the new Shoe Perks program, specifically for your Shoe Station customers, what are some of the tactics, you and your team on the marketing side of the house are doing, both that could be in store as well as online?
Yeah, I mean, we're using just about every tactic we have available to us. We want everyone to know that this new program exists and that there are significant benefits for them for signing up. So, in store, which is where the majority of the volume in Shoe Station lies, we have a lot of great signage. And each of our associates has had a ton of training on what the program benefits are. If somebody was an old Shoe Station Select member, how those points transitioned over, how to sign up customers into the new program, and just, they all have T-shirts that say, ask me about Shoe Perks. There's signage all over the stores. And then for, really every piece of marketing that we do, Shoe Perks is included in that on the Shoe Station side. And then for Shoe Carnival shoppers, for those who live near a Shoe Station store, and certainly for those that we know shop both banners already, we have a series of communications where we let them know, hey, you can now, if you're a Shoe Carnival shopper, you can now earn points and redeem rewards at Shoe Station, and vice versa. So that's been a lot of fun to put together as we're finding where our customers have overlap.
Yeah, and I imagine you did, as the lead up to this transition from Shoe Station's existing loyalty program has been cut over to the Shoe Perks program. There's been plenty of communication to customers in advance of that event.
Yeah, we didn't do a lot of pre-communication, right? Because we wanted to be able to provide all of the information that anybody would want to know, all in one place, all in one time. So if there was a lot of pre-communication, be like, well, what are my point balance, and how do I do that, and how do I think about it? And so we really waited until we were ready to launch the program, and launched it big, rather than having customers ask us a bunch of questions about, well, how many points do I have? And like, well, hi, you'll know in a couple of weeks. So
Right.
We do a lot of coming soon. We really focused on, here's your new program, here's how your points transitioned over, here's what your new benefits are, and went from there.
Yep. And then you're there to support them as they further try to learn about and use the program and get the most value out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier, Deb, that, you wanted to design a program that your customers really value. They want to be a part of and take advantage of, and get that value out of. So talk a little bit about the role customer feedback factors into the design of the Shoe Perks program, and then going forward, how that might factor into any updates as you think about ways to improve as well.
Yeah, it's a great question. Customer feedback is so incredibly important, and we collect it in a really wide variety of ways. I think most marketers do, right? We talk with our customers through qualitative research. We do surveys. We test and learn what customers respond to. And every time we think about loyalty program updates, our customers always tell us, I like that you don't have to have a PhD in loyalty to figure out your program. Please keep it simple. And so we do that. It's a really simple program. You buy shoes, you earn rewards, you use that as discounts for your next purchase. And then, there's some birthday perks and free shipping. So every time we've tried to make it fancy or complicated, our customers are very quick to tell us, please keep it simple. So we track awareness and usage of the program over time. Obviously, growing the participation is incredibly important to us. But the most important thing is actually a bit of an organic learning that we do over time, right? Engaging with our customers through email or in-store or SMS, seeing how they respond, seeing what they react to well, doing more of what they like, doing less of what they don't like. It's really simple, but it enriches the program significantly over time. On the Shoe Carnival side, we play a lot of games, right? It's a carnival after all. And we have a certain segment of customers that just loves those games. Well, we're going to keep giving them those games, right? Allows us to engage with our customers, give them additional value, have a little fun, and grow the richness of the program overall.
When you talk about the simplicity of the program and and kind of laying that out for the customer, that's what they're asking for. I think about where they can find that information so that they can easily know when I make this type of purchase, I can earn how many rewards. I imagine that's all on the Shoe Carnival and also the Shoe Station websites.
That's right. As well as in any of our stores, you can learn more. Any of our associates can tell you more. And we also have signage in both banners.
So when you launch a new rewards program, at least for the Shoe Station banner, I imagine there's some internal goals that are hopefully being targeted. What do you have in mind for the growth of the Shoe Perks program at Shoe Carnival and Shoe Station?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I want us to have the best loyalty program in footwear retail, maybe retail overall. First of all, to your point earlier, we do that by listening and responding to our customers, giving them the benefits they crave, having them come back for more. Obviously, I'd like to grow the percentage of our transactions that are members. The more people that are members, the more we can tailor our communications, give them the offers they want, and make the program richer overall. So really looking at what our total percent of transactions are loyalty members and looking to grow that over time.
Are the transactions there cross-channel in nature, so you can redeem and earn points whether you're purchasing in store or online, I would imagine?
That's right. In-store, online, Shoe Carnival, Shoe Station, doesn't matter where you buy or where you redeem, as long as you're a Shoe Perks member, you can do that in any channel you wish. It's really customer friendly that way.
Yeah, making it, again, back to your point, making it as easy as possible for your customers, and that's what they're asking for, and that's what you're trying to deliver.
Exactly.
Great. Well, I want to take the opportunity to thank Deb Hannah, again, the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications at Shoe Carnival, for joining us on this episode of Total Retail Talks and telling us all about the launch of the Shoe Perks reward program at its Shoe Station banner. So thank you for joining me today, Deb.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.